Welcome to CuriosityCon 2026. This is one of my favorite moments of the year. It is a chance for us to come together, share what we've learned, and get curious together. For more than 25 years, SurveyMonkey has helped organizations understand people. And in that time, we've helped answer more than 110 billion questions. And when you've seen that many questions, you start to notice when something changes. And if I can be honest, things are different this year. We're in the middle of a massive shift. I think we all feel it. AI is moving into our workflows and doing things that frankly make my jaw drop. It's exciting, it's fast, but it's also doing something dangerous. It's making us complacent. It's turning down our voices. It's making us all sound the same. We've become so obsessed with getting the answer that we've stopped valuing the question. So we have to ask the uncomfortable question. In a world where AI can answer anything, what happens to a business that forgets how to ask? So we decided to dig into this. Today, we issued our 2026 State of Curiosity report. Our team of researchers did a deep dive into what is happening in the world and in the workplace. And what we found was pretty clear. The way we work today is quietly killing curiosity. This becomes clear when we look at three distinct patterns in the data. The first, we're living in the most answer-rich moment in human history. Answers are incredibly easy to get. You can ask AI to summarize your market, evaluate your competitors, generate your messaging, even build your product. And in minutes, you get something back that looks pretty good. It's incredible, but it's also created a new problem. We're not just using AI to get answers, we're starting to use it instead of talking to each other. Leaders especially are routing questions through AI at a much higher rate than individual contributors. About a third of directors and VPs say they frequently go to AI instead of a colleague. And it makes sense. Less time, more decisions. AI becomes the fastest path. But every time a question gets routed to AI instead of a person, that's one less moment where someone gets pulled into the thinking. One less moment where curiosity actually gets built. At the same time, we've also built a world that is very good at reinforcing what we already believe. Every feed we scroll, every recommendation we see, every piece of content we consume is tailored specifically to us. On the surface, that feels helpful, but over time, something subtle happens. Our world gets narrower. We go deeper into perfectly personalized rabbit holes, where everything we see reinforces what we already think. You see fewer things that challenge you, fewer perspectives you didn't expect, fewer signals that something might be off. And over time, that creates a reflex. You expect the answer to come to you. You stop going out to find it. And that doesn't stay on your phone. It shows up at work. More than a third of people say they take AI output as is, or barely question it. Not because they fully trust it. Most people still trust their colleagues more, but they go with it anyway because it's faster. We've been conditioned to accept the first decent answer instead of pushing for the right one. Now, let's layer on how companies operate. For decades, we've optimized for speed. Speed of decision, speed of execution. There's very little unstructured time left. McKinsey research shows efficiency is a top 3 priority for over a third of organizations. We've trained companies to believe that performance comes from doing more, faster. But what's fastest isn't always what's right. We see the cost of that pretty clearly in our new findings. Half of workers say they've had to redo work because the right questions weren't asked at the start. And 46% say they've watched time and money get wasted because a project moved forward on assumptions instead of real understanding. So when you put all that together, we want to be curious. We believe we are. 95% of workers call themselves curious. But AI is sitting in the middle of every question. Systems are training us to accept what's served, and our work environments don't leave room to think or be curious. That's a problem. And this isn't abstract. We're seeing it in behavior. A quarter of professionals say they've pretended to understand something just to keep work moving. 44% stay silent. because they don't want to slow their team down. Think about that. In a world where we have more access to information than ever, people are asking fewer questions and pretending to know. It's not because they don't care, because the system is pushing them not to ask. So we went a level deeper into the data and asked, what does this look like for the future? You might assume that younger workers, the people earlier in their careers, would be the most curious. But what we're seeing in the research is almost the opposite. They're more likely to feel pressure to already have the answer, more likely to pretend they understand, more likely to stay silent because they don't want to ask too many questions. And the gap isn't small. Gen Z and millennials are more than 18 points more likely than boomers to say they've pretended to understand something at work. Among AI users, nearly half of Gen Z say AI has made them less curious. Not more, less. That's a problem. Because these are the people who are going to shape how we work for the next 20 or 30 years. And if they're learning early on that curiosity slows you down, that doesn't just affect them. It becomes how the system operates. We've set our workplaces up to crush curiosity, and we cannot have that. Innovation happens when you question the status quo. Improvements happen when you truly understand the problem. And nothing gets better until you get curious. And honestly, we've felt that ourselves. A couple months ago, we saw an uptick in user churn. Our initial reaction was to assume users were dissatisfied. So we moved quickly, launching new email campaigns and promotions, only to find out there was a bug. Something simple, something fixable. In that moment, we prioritized speed instead of stepping back to really understand what was happening. We weren't being curious. So what do we mean when we say curious? For us, curiosity is not just a personality trait. It's a discipline. It's the discipline to question assumptions, to explore, and to stop to ask, do I actually understand what's going on here? And being willing to find out that you don't. The companies that do this well build curiosity into how they operate. They don't just move fast. They learn while they move. Because when curiosity isn't there, something starts to break down. Employees stop feeling heard. Leaders think they have a clear read on things and don't. And over time, that shows up in the business. From everything we've seen, companies fall into two groups. The first group is answer-driven. They rely on assumptions. They use data to confirm what they already believe. They move fast, but they don't learn much. And to be clear, that works for a while until it doesn't. Because eventually the environment changes, the customer changes, the market shifts, something breaks. And if you're not set up to question what you think you know, you're not adaptable. The second group operates a little differently. They're more curious. They question what they think they know. They listen and they learn continuously. They actively seek out feedback, even when it's inconvenient. And they don't just rely on internal opinions. They go out to understand what the people who matter to them, their customers, their employees, their users, are actually thinking and feeling. And they build that into how they make decisions. And the difference isn't that they're moving slower. It's that they tend to make better decisions over time. If you step back, the difference between these two types of companies becomes pretty clear. The ones that keep improving, the ones that adapt as things change, the ones that actually get closer to their customers as they grow. They've built something different. They've built a higher capacity to learn, a higher capacity to question what they think they know, a higher capacity to seek out real perspectives. We call that curiosity capacity. Curiosity capacity is our willingness to question what we think we know and to seek out perspectives that don't match our own. Our ability to learn continuously, not just execute. I hear it from leaders all the time. I want to hire curious people, not just smart people, not just experienced people, people who are going to challenge assumptions, investigate, explore, figure things out, because that's the difference between people who maintain systems and people who improve them, between companies that optimize and companies that actually evolve. And the good news is curiosity capacity isn't fixed. It's not something you're born with, and it's not something a few people just happen to have. It's more like a muscle. You build it over time, individually and across your organization. And what we consistently see is the companies who are intentional about building it, who actually invest in understanding, not just moving faster, tend to outperform over time. That's really what this comes down to. Curiosity is your competitive advantage. What's refreshing about curiosity is that it's so innately human. AI is going to keep improving, and it's already incredibly useful. But AI isn't curious and will never be. It doesn't stop and question something, and it doesn't try to understand people beyond the data it's given. Real curiosity requires us to dig into how real people actually think and feel. It's about what your customers are thinking, what your employees are experiencing, what your users actually need right now. That's the part no AI model can generate for you. The companies that get this right ground questions in real human feedback. A great example of this is a gym in Santa Monica, California called TriFit. Owners Gina and Bernard started to see membership sign-ups stall. And on paper, they were doing everything right. They were following the latest fitness trends by adding new classes and investing in amenities, but it wasn't moving the needle. So they got curious. Instead of continuing to adjust things based on guesswork, they stepped back and started talking to people. They talked to their happiest members and asked them what made them stay. They also surveyed their targeted customers in the neighborhood to understand what they wanted in a gym. What came back wasn't complicated, but it wasn't what they expected either. It turned out that while the classes and amenities mattered, they weren't the deciding factor. What people actually cared about was convenience and feeling like they were part of something. Once they understood that, everything changed. They updated their hours, started hosting events and programs that focused on creating community, like morning ocean swims and marathon training groups you see here. Only real humans could have given them that insight. It came from talking to people and actually understanding what mattered to them. But here is where AI becomes really powerful, because what AI can do is help you act on that curiosity at scale. It can analyze feedback across thousands or millions of responses, surface patterns you wouldn't catch on your own, and help you act on what you're seeing. At SurveyMonkey, that's how we think about it. We use AI to help teams move faster without losing touch with reality. But AI isn't going to ask the question for you, and it's not going to replace the work of actually understanding people. It can help you answer questions, it can help you process what you hear, but it can't go out and get the human answers in the first place. That's where curiosity comes in. You have to be willing to ask. You have to be willing to listen. And you have to be willing to question what you think you know when the answers don't line up. AI can absolutely accelerate curiosity, but it can't create it. That part has to come from you. So I'll leave you with this. AI is going to keep changing how we work. That's already happening, and it's not going to slow down. The question is how you use it. Are you using it to confirm what you already think, or are you using it to actually learn something new? Because the answers that actually move things forward still come from people. AI can help you process those answers and act on them faster, but it won't replace the need to go get them in the first place. Nothing really improves until you understand what's going on. And you don't get there unless you're curious enough to ask. Nothing gets better until you get curious. Thanks for being here, and have a great CuriosityCon.